Pally sat on the roof of Studio Lot 11, a Formicko Studio, basking in the lights of night's embrace. He lazily sipped a beer. Even though it barely tasted like anything to him, the mere idea of it helped him edit over the parts of the experience that only his memories could fill. He heard the whirring of a helicopter and looked up from his midnight revelries. He saw Delta's little bird desperately landing on the pad between Studio 11 and 10. He knew there was desperation involved because Delta didn't call it in. Usually there was a courtesy notification that helo pilots made before landing on account of not wanting to disturb any film productions that may or may not have been going on at any given time. Pally put his beer down, ignoring the hypnotic lights of Furlong. He reached into his half-vest and took a quick swig off of a flask, then nimbly slid down a long storm drain with the vigor of a young Jackie Chan. He kept his head down and held his cowboy hat so as not to lose it under the powerful propellers of the helo. He saw Delta hop out of the little bird with her face dripping, revealing the muscles of her skin. She ran to Pally and instantly gave him a hug, as if she absolutely had to. "What in the happened?" Pally said in his strong southern accent. We are so fucked. We have," Delta started to say. "What happened? Take it slow, okay?" said Pally, attempting to be the rock that Delta could lean on to get her bearings. Delta frantically pointed to the little bird as if she were too flustered to explain. Pally took in a deep breath and looked in. He saw someone burned, broken, and bloodied in the back seat. "Is that Synth?" Pally said with rising concern. Delta looked away and nodded briskly in lieu of a response. "Is he dead?" Pally asked with some measure of fear to hear the answer. "I don't know. He just might be," Delta spoke. Out of nowhere, a man appeared as if he had always been there to begin with. "No, he's not dead. Just sleeping," said the unusually tall man who surely would lose his head if the helo blades were still spinning, and he rose up. "Jeez, what the Toonie?" yelled Delta. The big man didn't react one way or the other. "Sleep he will remain until an elder wakes him up again," said Toonie in a cryptic rhythm. "Okay, Synth is up, I see that. What the happened and why are we fucked?" Pally said as he walked all three of them back towards Studio 11. "Synth, he wouldn't back down," she said. "With what? Slower, you can do it." Pally spoke in a calming voice. "The prototype car, he pushed it. He pushed it so hard up the fairway he crashed hard." Toonie and Pally waited, both of them knowing that it had to be more than that for a reaction so big out of her. "He woke up and frenzied. He took out 2, maybe 3 people, full-on frenzy. I don't know who, I don't know how many cameras were out. I had to sneak up on him and smash his head." Delta stumbled over her words when she had to recount the violence she had to commit. "I had to slam his head in the concrete." Neither Toonie nor Pally flinched, both of them knowing that was more than likely the only way to stop a frenzy. Pally was a bit impressed that Delta had it in her to do it in the first place. If Synth was at his best, he'd punch a hole in her head. "How many people do you think might have seen it?" asked Pally. "I don't know, a lot. It has to have been a lot," Delta spoke sincerely. The three entered the studio hangar, which was barren with only the slight remnants of old movie props and demolished sets. "We should run," Delta said in a panic. "No, not tonight, my dear, not tonight, for the eyes of the city are watching us," said Toonie, theatrically while moving both of his hands to the sky towards the LaCroix building. There was a huge eye visible on the building, even at the distance they were on the wayward skyscraper. "What the Can they see us?" Delta said frantically. "No, they can't see us. He's speaking in metaphors and shit, you know him. They've been running that eye on the big screen for the past few days," said Pally to calm Delta down. The LaCroix building had the biggest and highest television monitor in the United States, if not the world, if Pally was correct. Though he didn't know if the building had any magical properties, and the world they lived in, they couldn't quite rule it out. Do you still have any pull with Claiborne? Maybe we could get him to vouch for us? Asked Pally. Yeah, but this is really big, Delta explained. Simp doesn't wake without an elder, Toonie explained. Maybe we'll get lucky and nobody even saw it, said Pally. No, not when the eye gazes at us. Toonie doubled down, even though it was merely a projection. We may yet survive this, but not without blood, Toonie said, standing at the hangar door, oddly craning his neck to look at the roaming eye of the LaCroix building. Look, if we run, do you have any people out of town? 'Cause if you don't, we'd have to start over from square one. I mean, I might make it, but I doubt you two would, said Pally with a smile. Delta's need to contradict Pally's smug comment overrode her fear, and Pally knew it would. Delta smiled. Okay, we stay low, we don't answer any phones, stay clear of any kindred until we can see Claiborne, said Pally. Okay, we'll see Claiborne first before we do anything. Sounds good, Delta agreed. What will we do when the prince's hand comes to grab us? Toonie said to the other two. Well, we'll slip him until we get a Titan on our side, said Pally, attempting to use the same grandiose vernacular as Toonie. I'll get the grease, Toonie said with a smile.